things are getting weird. What's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well. And of course, like I always mention, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please take a quick moment and leave a like. Thank you so very much for your continued support and your kindness. And with that in mind, let's dive on in. So this past weekend was Batman Day, and as part of the festivities, we saw Jeff Keighley's company, the Game Awards, tweet out the following tweet: "Name your dream game developer for the next Batman game." And that tweet got one heck of a discussion going, with many different suggestions and many different people naming different developers, like, for example, From Software, which I would never ever see happening, but would be kind of nuts, to Insomniac Games, and of course, yes, even Rocksteady. Now, things began to get weird, quote unquote, when Nick Special from the Xbox Era podcast chimed in and said that he is hearing that the next Batman game is actually already in production, and it will indeed be Rocksteady returning to the roots to try and regain the magic, quote unquote, after the disaster that was the Unalive Squad game. Now I know, settle down, some of you guys will immediately jump up from your seats and go, well, actually, who the heck is Nick Special? Is he legit? And why should we trust him? Well, I have to be honest, I don't follow the Xbox Era podcast, but before making this very video, I did some research on his credibility, and I have to be honest, it seems like he is quite credible. He checks out. I mean, he has a really nice track record of the things that he publicly discusses tend to happen more often than not. So I think we can trust him for this one. And plus, let's be honest, it's not really that hard to believe that after the commercial and critical mess that was the Unalive Squad game, yeah, I would imagine that Rocksteady would try to go back to Old Faithful and get back on track with their next game. Now, since we're discussing Rocksteady, one interesting discussion that I have heard as a result of this particular tweet going out is that some people are questioning whether or not Rocksteady is Rocksteady only in name. Because after all, yes, it is true, they are the studio that is responsible for an incredible trilogy of games, as well as a pretty dang good VR game, but their latest release in the Arkhamverse, well, it was an absolute disaster. And if you begin to dig into the staff of Rocksteady, it becomes quite apparent that many, if not most, of the people that built those original games that we love are no longer actually part of that studio. And so the question really does become, can this new version of Rocksteady build an awesome Batman single-player game? If they are not burdened by the live service elements of something like Unalive Squad, I guess it would be interesting to see if they could get the job done. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, I'm sure that right about this point of the video, some of you guys are probably saying, what the heck is actually considered weird about what you've discussed here so far? Well, in my opinion, it's the second part of Special Nick's original tweet that seems to have gone completely unnoticed, because not only does he say that he has heard that Rocksteady is already developing a brand new Batman game, but that Sony/PlayStation, I guess, are working really hard to make the game a PlayStation exclusive. Now listen, I am a self-admitted PlayStation fanboy, and that is definitely my favorite platform to play games on. But the idea of both Spider-Man and Batman being exclusive to the PlayStation platform is not something that I would personally cheer for. I mean, yes, I understand that you could make the case that when you release a game on just one console, like in this case, if you made this brand new Batman game exclusive, you could probably have a much more better optimized experience. And that would be fair, especially because, again, we have seen many different developers continue to say that optimizing for the Xbox Series S is an absolute nightmare. But in spite of that, I still believe that third-party games are exceptionally important for a healthy gaming industry, and I really hope that Batman remains playable to as many people as possible, regardless of what platform they choose to play on. But now let's shift our attention to the more fun portion of this video, and that is the discussion around what could this Batman game actually be. Because after all, one of the dumbest decisions that Rocksteady made was do what they did in the Unalive Squad game to the Dark Knight himself.
You always gotta end on your best joke.
Yeah, they definitely dug themselves into an awkward position, and so based on that, I really think that there are only two natural paths that they could take for this upcoming Batman game. The first one would be to rewind the clock and go back to a younger Bruce Wayne and show us the story of him figuring out what it means to be Batman, how he becomes and embraces the role of the Dark Knight, meeting his iconic rogues for the very first time, so on and so forth. Or what I think would be incredible is if they actually move the clock way forwards and we get that long-rumored Batman Beyond game. I mean, imagine them putting Terry McGinnis front and center, gives them the chance to build brand new gameplay style that would be unique to Bruce Wayne's. It gives them the chance to build out a new environment or Gotham City that would feel different to the previous Gotham that we spent time in. It gives them the chance to introduce brand new rogues or just reimagine some of the classic rogues for this new Beyond era. And the game sells really, really well, and if it's a really fun game and well-made game, it could easily set up a whole brand new trilogy that this brand new Rocksteady could use in order to rebuild their legendary status. And yes, I obviously would also hope that some way, somehow they figure out a creative way to bring Bruce Wayne back to life, because after all, we need him to act as the mentor for Terry like he did in the classic Batman Beyond animated series.
You have no idea what my nightmares are like.
Oh, and one final point before we wrap things up, since I know some of you may actually ask, how do we know that this is actually a brand new game and not just a remaster or a remake of Batman Arkham Asylum, for example? Well, fortunately enough, that same question was actually asked to the previously mentioned Nick Special from Xbox Era, who replied to someone on Twitter saying that from what he has heard, this is indeed going to be a brand new project and not just a remaster or remake. So there you have it. Batman's current state in video games is certainly weird, but I guess on the bright side, us Batman fans can be excited to know that there's already a brand new Batman game in development. Now we just need to, I guess, wait and see how that game turns out to be. With that in mind, let me know what you guys think, and of course, as always, as I like to mention, thank you guys so very much for watching. I genuinely do not take that for granted. If you guys do enjoy today's video, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so very much for your kindness. And if you'd like to see an absolutely epic celebration of Lego Batman, check out the video that you're currently seeing on your screen. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you all here on the next one. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you later. Alligators. Bye-bye, guys.